It should go like day after day.
Alright, hello. My name is Sunapple. I'm here, one of the hosts of NAMT here. I haven't done much this week, but I'm trying my best to commentate this match, which is Halogen versus Asharpp. This is our final losers bracket match of the semifinals pool. Loser of this will be eliminated out of the tournament, and winner will actually be facing off the loser of Halogen versus Tristan Jacob, I believe. Yes. So big stakes on this match since both of these players are at risk of being eliminated from the tournament altogether, and I guess just losing their runs so far. This is our first warm-up. I believe this is Asharpp's warm-up. I'm not 100% certain about that, but still, both of these players are quite well known to me. I believe Asharpp played in NAMT23 last year, as well as quite a few other tournaments in the past, and Halogen being more well known for a longer time ago, where I believe he played in NAMT23 as well for Team USA. But to me, both of these players are really good consistency players and just good Rice players overall. So it'll be interesting to see how they really fare on these difficult Rice picks, since I know both of them have had decently close matches in the past. Asharpp just winning out through Mr. Moo yesterday in the tiebreaker. So Asharpp does have some practice on the tiebreaker. Halogen, no actual in-game practice, I believe, but definitely is known for being like actually practicing the pool, unlike a lot of other players. And more on to Halogen. Halogen got to this place by beating Series E Envy yesterday in a 6-1, so a bit easier, a bit more of a sweep, so Asharpp won't have as much information on Halogen here, so it could be hard for Asharpp to be picking maps well, and Halogen may have a slight advantage on, I guess, just picks in general, since they'll be able to know what they most likely are going to win. But I would assume this is going to go through a Rice versus LN matchup like what Asharpp had yesterday, except instead of what happened yesterday for him, Asharpp's actually going to be on the LN side, since they're quite good on the LN department, surprisingly. Something that some players may not know about. But I know Halogen has been becoming really confident, or has been really confident in the past, and I think it has been getting even more confident as of recently on these LN picks. So really going to be interesting to see how those LN picks will match out, and I think how these Rice picks, especially since they're super important for Halogen to be able to consistently get these Rice points. I'm not sure whether we'll see too many hybrids in this pool at the start of the match, especially since I guess they're more 50-50, most likely in a slight favor for Asharpp, since I believe Asharpp has a physicality advantage, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I know both these players, I guess, are on the weaker side of physicality in like top US players, but they're still very respectable. And here we have a bit of a tech warm-up. We do see Asharpp does have what seems to be a physicality advantage, which is really good to see. I know, like, oh yeah is very similar to this, with a bunch of mini jacks all over the place, kind of speed jacky, as well as techie all over the place. So Asharpp may have a slight advantage on that, but I can guarantee this is a lot harder than anything in the pool right now. So I wouldn't care too much about this warm up. Yeah, after this we'll be going on to the rolls. We have quite short warm-ups actually. That's nice for me to see. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes to talk through warm-ups since generally they're like meme charts, but actually we see, I guess, normal warm-ups in quotes because I don't know, this is like a mess of notes. I guess that's what's Tigris, however you say that name, normally maps. Yeah, I have 4K in general. Alright, and now it is time to go into the rolls. I'm gonna predict a 72 from Halogen and 56 from Asharpp right here. If I'm right, then y'all have to sub to OCVSM to fund us. But there's a high chance that I'm wrong. And 8 from Halogen, 51 from Asharpp. I was in the 50s, just on the wrong person. So Asharpp going to have the opportunity to pick whether they want to protect first or ban first, and are guaranteed to have that first protect. And they're actually going to opt to protect first, so that's going to mean that they ban first, a very common choice from a lot of players. I believe that's what most people have been going for. So I would expect Asharpp to go in this lower half, maybe something really physical, like a density map. I know LN2 is pretty good. And actually, we're going to be going to see Rice 7. I think that's our core jack map here. Bailandoro. I cannot say. I cannot speak. But yes, Rice 7. And Halogen, I actually don't really know what Halogen is going to want to protect. I would think Rice. And yes, we're going to see Euphoria be protected. So the longest map in the pool. That'll be interesting to see. But I'm really excited to see that. Just because two consistency gods, I guess, in quotes. Battling it out on Euphoria is going to be really, really interesting. Hopefully we see quite a bit of shifts in the leads there. But now onto bans from Halogen. Most likely going to opt for one of the lower pool, or one of the lower maps in the pool, and we do see LN2, we see the Mysterion map getting banned. And it looks like, hold on, let me check. It looks like this was also the ban last match against NV here, so maybe just not really a big fan of that map, and just not wanting to play that in general. And actually, that was Asharpp's ban as well yesterday. So maybe both these players aren't too comfortable on that. But we do see Asharpp actually banning out Fuego here, Rice 5. And now going out to picks, it is going to be Asharpp's pick. Really, you have so much options on the first pick. It can be a bit overwhelming, but actually going for a Rice 1 pick right off the bat. I believe this is speed, so really gonna test quite a bit of physicality here. Now, a well-known thing to me, at least in terms of speed, is that it's really like a black or white situation for a lot of players. It's either you can play this level of speed, or you just die. So it's very similar to core jack in that fashion, but I feel like speed is something that both these players most likely have practiced quite a bit. So going to be interesting to see how this goes through. This map is 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so it's a decent length in general. And here we see our first burst coming out. Both players evenly tied here, having the exact same point distribution, but Asharpp coming in through with a slightly very, very tiny, but these streams haven't even gotten started, I guess. It's just these small little bursts coming through, and after every single one of these bursts, their accuracies get tied up more and more. And here I believe we'll be seeing a bit more dense, or a bit longer streams, and Halogen coming out on top after a quarter. I believe Asharpp got a 200 or just a flurry of 300s in one of those bursts. Both players hanging on to their 99.8s. Neither of them letting loose here. having a slight break. And here we go, now into the real section of the map. Asharpp having the lead, though this is so minuscule. A miss or just 200s can definitely swap it over. And we're not seeing any of that for either player here. Halogen being able to compete really well. Maybe having a slightly worse ratio, but that's not a huge deal, especially in this kind of map where if you miss once, and as I'm saying this, Asharpp taking a miss, and actually quite a brutal miss, a 200 to boot, giving Halogen the lead in combo. I believe if Asharpp didn't miss, that the accuracy would be in favor of Halogen right here, or in Asharpp. But we finished our first stream, Halogen actually having the accuracy disadvantage, but just being able to continue to hold this combo is really helping them out. Though we have seen leads swap over just based on accuracy alone, even while the player down has a miss. But we'll have to see Asharpp have to increase their accuracy by quite a bit if they want to win this first point. And the bursts just keep on coming. They're relentless here. Halfway through the map, this lead isn't looking like it's going to go anywhere, but Halogen taking a few 200s, not really shrinking the lead slightly in favor of Asharpp. And here, our second break of the map, going into the final stream. Will Halogen be able to continue this combo, or will Asharpp, will Asharpp be able to increase their accuracy enough to take the lead? It's looking like Halogen is staying really steady here. Neither player letting up at all. Asharpp has been able to increase their lead from the 99.6 to nearly 99.7, but Halogen just keeping this combo has been helping them out throughout the entirety of these streams here. I think Halogen should be able to take this breakpoint as long as the miss doesn't come out from him right now. I think there may be a final stream section, but I think first point goes to Halogen here. Oh wait, never mind. I forgot, there's the final stream, I was right. Neither player letting loose here, both keeping up their consistency. Asharpp needs a miss from Halogen in this last stream if they want to continue, but it looks like Halogen taking the first point. Very close actually. Asharpp had the accuracy advantage as well as the ratio advantage, just that one miss. Coming in like the middle of a stream after a 200. Very scary if you are Asharpp. Alright, and now it is going to be Halogen's pick. And we will be seeing Rice 6, Chaos Japan. A Penguinosity map, but uploaded by Rhymes with Mash. Thank you to him. We'll be waiting for this MP start to come out, and it looks like it has, so we'll be going straight into this next pick. Half the time of the last map. So going to be interesting to see. Misses are going to be a lot more brutal for either of these players, but Halogen's very good at consistency, so most likely won't take the miss, but you know, Caster Curse is real, so it's a high likelihood that it can happen, especially on these kind of maps. Mini jacks coming out from both players. Same as we saw in the last match, both players are evenly matched basically. Asharpp having a slight lead though. Halogen taking a 200, though I don't think that's too big. Here we finally see the long jacks coming out. Very difficult bursts here. Asharpp faring quite a bit better than Halogen has been. And here we see a bit more jacks. Both players seem quite comfortable on this BPM. So it probably isn't a huge deal, but now we're going into the more bursty section. Neither player letting up in combo, but as I'm saying this, Halogen taking the first miss. Asharpp having insane accuracy here, 99.8. It's going to be really, really hard for Halogen to be able to come back from this. And with that second miss, I think that is going to be it. I think Asharpp, as long as nothing terrible happens, no gamma rays hit his PC, I believe Asharpp should be able to take this. And yes, 99.2, oh my god. That's crazy. 200s? Okay. If you say so. Double break point coming through for both players. Back to even 1-1. This is first to 6, so it's still a game. There's still quite a bit of map to pick, and we're running out of rice maps left, and because we see Rice 7 coming out from Asharpp here. Thank you to YT. Here, another short map, short and sweet, 1 minute 42 seconds. Only 15 seconds above, or 15 seconds longer than the last map, but I believe this has a bit more breaks. I'm not sure. And I'm more than sure that this is the Core Jack map, because I was actually the one that uploaded it. Here we'll be going more into the Core Jacks. Asharpp having the lead. We did see that they had slight better accuracy in the last pick, but actually Halogen taking the lead. I believe Asharpp took a few 200s in these jump trails, but both players are actually suffering quite a bit in these paradigm shift-esque jump trails. Neither player really holding a very steady lead. It's really coming down to who's able to minimize their 200 counts. And Asharpp actually taking a 200 on this more simpler patterns. These LN releases can be quite difficult to play. Looks like Halogen having actually the accuracy leads slightly. Asharpp taking a 200, I believe. And Halogen going to be the first to miss. There still is a chance for him to come back. If Asharpp takes a miss or a bunch of accuracy drops, and yes, that does happen. I believe Asharpp took a 50 or 2 on these trills. This accuracy is so close. Halogen needs to stay as high as possible, and Asharpp actually taking the miss as well as trading it with Halogen, keeping the lead in favor of Halogen just because of that accuracy. I believe there should be one last trill coming up, but it looks like Halogen actually going to be taking the third breakpoint, 3 in a row. My god. Those jump trills just screwing up Asharpp slightly. Maybe tapping early, tapping a bit too late. Either could be very possible, and just as a result, Asharpp was the one to take too many 200s. Now, Halogen's pick. Last time he mispicked and actually gave his own point to Asharpp. Will we see the same thing happen here? I genuinely have no clue what to pick. I mean, you could go for your Protect. Rice 3, I believe. Euphoria is an option here. Or you could maybe go more of a techie approach. Asharpp. I don't remember whether... I think they're quite good at tech, but generally better at tech accuracy. So maybe you want to go for OEL if you are Halogen, since Halogen is just really good at tech, being from FFR. Or maybe you could go for some, I guess, hand-stream stamina-esque here with category catch ball. And yes, we do see category catch ball come out. This is the Penguinosity chart of it. So now going to see the LN map that we saw, or that was in Soul 3 by Uis, I believe. But instead we'll be seeing Penguinosity's chart of it. Another long map coming out from Halogen, I believe. No, never mind. Asharpp actually chose Rice 1 first. So we'll be seeing a 3-minute 30-second chart here. Asharpp not seeming like they enjoy this map all too much, saying, this map. It's definitely understandable. This map is quite brutal for the whole 3 minutes. Some slight LN, not really messing up either player. Asharpp actually holding their 1 mil for a few notes. But as soon as we get into these hand streams, both players dip slightly in accuracy, Halogen having the advantage, though I believe this is just Bancho being a bit late. Asharpp actually having the accuracy lead. We see more of those jump trills coming through. Neither player is messing up this time, though they are all over the place on this map. It is quite a brutal map in general. Just so much happening for 3 minutes, and it's at 2:38. Our slight break comes in now. Asharpp having the slight accuracy advantage after that first stream. And I feel like this map feels a lot shorter than it actually is. We're already a quarter of the way through. These players are basically tied, I'd say. Any miss or 200 can swing the lead in either's favor. Even these LNs definitely matter. Yeah, your ratio on these need to be as good as possible. Halogen has been able to increase their accuracy, trying their best to catch up to Asharpp. Neither player letting up. We're approaching the halfway point. This lead is still very small, and Halogen actually taking a very dirty break, 200s as well as quite a few misses. Dropping their accuracy by quite a bit, though the same thing can definitely happen to Asharpp in the second half, especially if stamina runs out. Halogen dropping once again. That is not a good sign for him. And as soon as we finish that one stream, Halogen taking a break as well as in the transition. This is looking very dire for Halogen right now. Asharpp will need to take quite a few misses if they do want to lose, or if they do need to lose the point. Asharpp has just been able to have this cushion here. Even if a miss or two comes out here, I believe Asharpp should still continue to be in the lead just off this accuracy alone. And yes, Asharpp takes a miss, but it is traded by Halogen, so no difference will actually be played out here. Both players looking like their staminas are slightly decreasing. Halogen taking another miss. That is not great. We have a final break, and we're coming up to the end of the map. It's looking quite dire for Halogen here. Asharpp just has such a huge lead of about 30k. Multiple misses will have to come out in this last section for Asharpp if Halogen wants to be able to have the chance to even take this point. And Asharpp actually taking the first miss. The lead is slightly going in favor of Halogen, taking another one on the LN, but there's so little time left in the map. I don't know whether Halogen will be able to even have a chance here. Doesn't look like it. And fourth breakpoint in a row here. Asharpp with the 5-200s. That's clean. 1-8 ratio as well. But now, we're slowly running out of these rice picks. There's only two left. There's Euphoria and then Oh Yeah. So it is Asharpp's pick. So they could definitely go into the lower half of the pool. Maybe go more for the LNs. Maybe go for the hybrids. And we'll actually be seeing Hybrid 3. I believe this is the Nezu map. Yes. It is $100 bills. This map has been quite brutal for quite a few players, I'd say, over the course of the week, so going to be interesting to see how Asharpp and Halogen are going to be faring on this kind of map. Not going for LN specifically, but definitely will be interesting to see how they play both of these LNs, or the LNs in this map. A 3-minute map here, so quite a bit of room for error for both players. Though, you definitely want to try your best to hold as much of a combo as possible, especially on this map where it's so easy to drop. Halogen taking the first few 200s, but that doesn't really mean much, especially in this map. Now, we'll be going into the actual map. As we're going in, Asharpp having the slight lead, though it's very similar to the previous maps where this lead could definitely be just opened up if a miss comes out, and Halogen actually being the one to miss is not what they want. Another miss comes out from Halogen. Asharpp has been able to hold this lead in lock for now. It has been slightly going in favor of Asharpp. We see 200s coming out from all over the place from both players. No one is seeming to find this map too comfortable, but Asharpp just having this accuracy as well as the combo advantage is definitely helping them out. Both players are at the 400 combo mark, so it won't. The lead won't necessarily slow down or increase. But as soon as the miss comes out, there's still quite a bit of a chance for Halogen to take this point if Asharpp take a miss or two, especially in this later half. But Halogen actually taking the miss resets combo, increases the lead slightly for Asharpp as we get closer, or as they get closer and closer to the 500 combo mark. And now we see quite a bit more Rice in here. Both players are trading 200s and 300s, but just this accuracy lead as well as the combo that has been just in favor of Asharpp throughout this entire match. There's still a third of the map left, so definitely quite a few chances for Asharpp to lose this lead. Halogen has been able to actually increase their accuracy from the start of the map. And neither player messing up too much on the on the trills or the map left. No one letting up now. They've been able to hold this combo for quite a while now, coming up to the ending of the map. And Halogen taking a very dirty drop. It's going to be nearly impossible, I believe, for Asharpp to lose this point. But you never know what happens, especially in this last quarter, or in this last section. And I believe that is it. Asharpp will be the first to take a non-break point. We had 4 in a row, now we have 0 in a row. No judgments lower than 200 for Asharpp here. Definitely proving that they have quite a bit of an advantage on these LN and Rice picks. Possibly going to opt for more of that lower half of the pool. That map was filled with very intense, I guess, LN releases and just LN staggers, so will be interesting to see it. Actually, Halogen going to opt for Illegal Legacy here. This is not the Toph, I believe, Illegal Legacy. This is Resizes. So maybe you've seen Tophs in different map pools, but we'll actually be seeing Resizes here. Quite a short map, so a bit less room for error for Halogen. Halogen will have to continue to... Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. Halogen will have to try their best to get as much of a combo as possible in this map and just holding that as much as possible. Looks like Halogen is possibly going to see the change of the map. And possibly Halogen had this map before, but or maybe they accidentally checked it out in the editor and edited a slight bit or something. But it doesn't truly matter. Generally, these kind of picks don't change all too much, especially with the random edits. And now MP has come out. We'll see whether Halogen will be able to fire back, evening up the scoreline once again. Asharpp actually seeming to struggle a slight bit on this intro, whereas Halogen has been able to play it a bit better, but that is really nothing for what's to come in this later half. Both players playing these quite well. Halogen getting a few more 200s than Asharpp. I believe Asharpp is still on the V1SS, whereas Halogen got a few 200s on the mini jacks at the start, but they've been able to hold strong here. Asharpp's accuracy has slightly gone down, so there's still quite a bit of a chance for Halogen to catch up, and especially with a miss coming out from either player here. Here we're on our first break, and I believe our last break of the map, halfway through. Asharpp just holding this lead as we have been seeing in quite a bit of these maps. I don't think Asharpp has missed. No, wait, Asharpp missed on category catch ball. But yes, we'll now be going into the meat of the map, going into more LNs as well as Rice. More of a hybrid-esque, I guess you could say. Asharpp actually getting a few 200s, evening up the accuracies a bit, only about a 1/10 of a percentage difference, and Halogen being the first to drop is not what you want to see if you're a Halogen fan here. There's still quite a bit of map left, a quarter, so still a few chances for Asharpp to drop, and I know especially on this kind of map, if you take one drop, it's most likely going to be really dirty just because of the mini jacks all over the place. Or coming up to the end of the map, there's still one very difficult section, and Halogen actually taking the second drop of the map. That's going to be very brutal for them. And I think with that final drop, that's a nail in the coffin. Asharpp should be able to take this point. 99 or 99.7, most likely 99 something. 99 like 1. Yep. That is just flawless from Asharpp. It is really hard to play these maps, so even Halogen's just 965 is really impressive. But Halogen wasn't able to even it up. Asharpp just 1 point away to make it to match point. Asharpp, I believe, or actually no. I was gonna say I believe Asharpp still has their protect, but I think that they protected some Rice map. Let me make sure. Yeah, Asharpp protected Rice 7, so we have already seen that. And we still have Halogen's protected Rice 2, and we'll actually be finishing up the hybrid pool right here with the DX Super Performance. Our ArtCat map. I think this is the third pool that we've had ArtCat maps. A bit trivia on this. This was actually a reject from 40M Grand Finals. So it's interesting to see that NAMT Semifinals is 40M Grand Finals. But we see a shorter map actually compared to the last two hybrids. Only less than 2 minutes. Halogen opting to play this on mirror. Very interesting to see. Definitely shows that they've practiced this map quite a bit. Being able to understand that mirror may be the option here. And how Asharpp has been faring on these hybrid picks, it's going to be quite difficult for Halogen to take this point. So actually, I think this intro has been closer than the other maps. Both players very even on accuracy. 200s coming out from both players. Halogen faring a bit worse. I believe they got a few 100s in the mini jacks. And this map is quite short. Asharpp though, taking a miss. Halfway through the map, Halogen will have to continue this combo as well as hold as high of accuracy as possible since this lead is very small. We can't be seeing any more of those, I guess, bursts of drops coming through for Halogen. Asharpp is slowly but surely getting up to that 400 combo mark, trying to stabilize this lead. It is really important for Asharpp to try to get as high of accuracy as possible on all these LNs. And this lead is very unstable. Any 200 coming out from both players can switch it over, and it looks like Halogen, not even 200, just ratio difference coming in from Halogen to Asharpp switches the lead slightly, but there's still quite a bit of map left for Asharpp to possibly get a few 200s on. That is not it's not looking like that's gonna happen here though. And whoa, that's the closest hybrid we've seen. 2k difference, just based on that accuracy. I believe if Halogen didn't get those 2 goods, then they would have had the advantage. Those early mini jacks just messing them up. Now, match point for Asharpp. Halogen's pick. Halogen still has his protective Euphoria here. Or maybe you want to go for the tech route. Oh yeah, still open. Or you could go for the lower half. I love the lower half. Nope, obviously we'll be seeing Euphoria here. I believe this was also a 40M reject. I was definitely one of the components of that reject, but yeah, this map is 5 minutes long. It is a brutal marathon. 190 BPM, but it does not feel like 190 BPM. Both players have been starting out pretty quickly, so I guess I am grateful for that. Thank you to players who quickly ready up. Alright. Now, finally see the map. I wish I knew the pick rate of this map because it's really funny to think, or it'd be really funny to think that this map is played in like every single map or match, but I highly doubt that. The jacks here, though, they don't really mean all too much because the streams haven't even started, but now they should be. Yep. And it's really just a consistency battle here. Both of these players being quite well known for their consistency, so it's going to be interesting who will have the better accuracy in these kinds of streams. Both players just holding up this 99.95. Asharpp having, I believe, the slight advantage. Bancho is just a bit late, so that happens every so often. Neither of them letting up. A first burst comes through. Neither player having an advantage. It's dead even on accuracy. Halogen seeming to have the advantage. Asharpp faring a bit worse for wear on that burst, but I believe Halogen actually took a 200 in there. Accuracy is once again tied up. Asharpp slightly increased. These bursts are just getting more and more difficult, as well as having some LN a part of it all. Definitely is not helping both players. Halogen taking a 200, but I believe it was traded out once again from Asharpp. It's really interesting to see these accuracies basically being tied up As soon as one player gets to 200, the other does as well. And Asharpp and Halogen, yes, they traded out once again. They traded out misses. I believe Halogen had the worst miss though. They got a few 200s as well as 100s in there. So Asharpp is having the lead for now. We're halfway through. There's still quite a bit of map for Halogen to continue to take this advantage. We have a slight break section here, luckily. But as soon as this is over, we're gonna be getting back into the map, seeing some jacks. Quite a well-known map here, so some people may know this, or quite a well-known song, so some people may know this section. Neither player letting up in accuracy. Asharpp just continuing to hold this lead, though we have seen breaks come out from both players. So it is still possible for the lead to switch over, especially how breaks work on this map, where it's really easy to get a really dirty break. 1/3 left in the map. If Asharpp is able to continue to hold this lead, they will be able to move on to the next match. However, if Halogen is able to take this, it is going to be another pick, another map that Halogen survives. Going to this last quarter, this is do or die for Halogen here, because don't forget, this is still an elimination round. So if Halogen loses this, they're eliminated from the tournament. And actually, a break comes out from Halogen. This is not too great. Asharpp has been able to increase their accuracy from that 99.6, I believe, they had at the break, at the time that they broke, to 99.8. Halogen also trying to do the same, but that miss is not too great. Asharpp has a bit of room for movement. Halogen taking another break is not great here. I believe Asharpp can take 1 or 2 breaks at this point, or a super dirty miss, and they'll still be fine. But that being said, both are very possible from Asharpp. Another break not being traded out. These misses not being traded out from Halogen is very bad. We're approaching the ending of this map. It is looking very dire. And as the slung slows down, it slowly but surely is looking like Asharpp will be able to take this match as well. We'll be moving into the finals. And there we go. Asharpp going to be the winner of this match. Half the 200 count of Halogen. Very respectable scores from both players. 970 is really good, especially for this kind of map. I would definitely not be too sad if you're Halogen. You've been able to move through quite a few players, especially in this tournament. It's been super stacked. But congratulations to Asharpp. Moving on to be facing the winner of Halogen versus Tristan Jacob, which will be in the next match, actually, in about 5 hours, I believe. So be sure, be there or be square in 5 hours at 23 UTC to see the next match. We'll be having both of our winners bracket matches in around that time, so mark your calendars. But with that being said, I was Sun Apple. Goodbye!